You already know what it is. Your boy DJ Filthy Rich.
Here's your boy DJ Big X.
And we back with another episode of the We Outside Show. There's a lot going on outside, so we're going to get right into it and we're going to talk about it, X.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Today we have a guest that we wanted to bring back because you're a fan favorite. You're a fan favorite. So we have Mr. Christian Wise Smith, Esquire. I wanted to remember to make sure I say Esquire in the building. Christian Wise Smith, Esquire in the building.
That's right.
All right, so for people who didn't see you on the last episode, explain to everyone what type of law you practice.
So I've been a lawyer now for 13 years, primarily in the world of the criminal system. I was a prosecutor for 7, been doing my own thing with my own firm on criminal defense. But I want everybody to know, you guys are hearing it here first, I'm running for Georgia Labor Commissioner. We can do a lot of good in that office for people throughout the state.
Okay.
And everything that I campaigned before on running for DA and Attorney General, I talked a lot about creating economic opportunities through diversion programs to try to break people out of the system. Mm-hmm. But really that was reactive in a small chunk of that job. But now as Labor Commissioner, it is the job, and we can do it on a proactive basis and make a lot of great things happen across the state. So I'm grateful to you, brothers, for bringing me back so that we can announce that to everybody in Georgia and throughout the world.
Dope.
So break that down. The role of the labor commissioner is to do what?
So the biggest responsibility of that office is they control the unemployment benefits. So, most people experience that office when they're going through a tough time. You lose your job, you apply for unemployment. It's on the labor commissioner to make sure that that process works smoothly, which historically it hasn't. The technology that they use in that office is outdated. We can modernize it. We can make an app to go on your phone now instead of the old, outdated way. But they also run career centers throughout the state of Georgia. Most people don't know that. Back in the day when we were coming up, you had to fill out paper applications and look at job boards, but we can modernize those as well and also incorporate better job training programs for people. You can work with the labor unions and apprenticeship programs, the Georgia Technical College system for internships and apprenticeships. There's a lot we can do through that office to help people get it connected to employment and job training that we haven't seen done before.
That's dope, man. I think we need that especially in the state of Georgia. Is it a real big unemployment problem in Georgia?
Unemployment across the country is a problem for everybody. I mean, we've seen massive layoffs happen from a lot of companies. Everybody's really fearful of what technology is doing to replace jobs. But there are a lot of jobs out there that technology can't replace.
Right.
Your plumbers, your electricians,
Trades,
those kind of jobs, that the labor commissioner can do a lot to expose people to and help connect people to. But yeah, the unemployment rate is a problem for everybody right now.
Now, being the labor commissioner, I have to ask you this. Would that play in some part of like having, would you play a part of getting those type of trades that we're talking about back in the schools, or being the commissioner, would you play a part of that?
So I think one of the dopest things the labor commissioner can do is use their voice and the platform.
Right.
So one of the things is about increasing the minimum wage, but then yes, I could be a mouthpiece for those kind of programs, partnering with schools to do it. But I think an easier start to do is just by partnering with the labor unions.
Right.
The labor unions already have apprenticeship programs in place most people don't know about.
But a lot of times, even though you've been a labor commissioner, that a lot of those jobs aren't even available. The skill training for those classes don't even take place until those kids get out of school. But when we grew up, a lot of those classes were offered in school. Like you could go.
They were electives.
That was an elective. You can go learn how to do auto paint. You can learn to do wood tech, different things like that. Yep. Now, I don't even think they offer those things in school.
So one of the things we want to do is create summer programs for the kids in high school, kids coming out of high school, and college kids.
Right.
Where, again, just utilizing what's already in place through the labor unions, figuring out how we can expand and make it grow differently. But, first things first is, like you said, just giving the kids those opportunities, and we can really use the labor unions to do that.
Now, when you have positions like this, how much red tape do you have to go through? Like, I understand when you're a politician, you have all these great ideas and you want to do all these things, but there's always something. So what do you think would be your biggest hurdles? First, let's get you in office. We're going to get him in office, but when you get there, what are some things that you're looking ahead to say, all right, these are going to be some hurdles we're going to have to deal with?
Well, first thing is the administration on the federal level. You know, the current president will still be the president. This election is this election is next year. Primary in May, general in November 2026. So we'll still have everything in place on the federal level, and everything that they're doing, cutting budgets across the country. So that ties into number two. The biggest constraint on a piece of red tape will be the budget that I'm working with to make these programs work the way we want. But, you know, I grew up without much, man. I come from the mud, so we know how to make it do with little. Sure. So we'll go in there and retool and figure out and repurpose how we can make things work for people.
So now that you're running for this office, do you see a major disconnect with young black men in the labor force now? And whereas you being a labor commissioner, how could you make that? How do you think you could make that better?
I mean, I wouldn't just put it on young black men. I would say young people in general.
Okay.
I think the social media age and technology, I call it the microwave generation. I think a lot of our young folks, they want things to happen quick, or they think that they can post a video, it's going to go viral and they get paid. But I want to make sure people understand that there are other pathways to make sure that you can build a career, that you can take care of your family, you can develop a skill, develop a trade. Want to really expose that and bring that to the forefront so that we, one, if you want to be specific about black men, and me being an attorney for so long and seeing so many of our brothers and sisters go through the system, I want to do as much as I can to prevent that.
Right.
And one of the things I saw in that job, most people who came in contact with the system were there because of lack of education and lack of job opportunities. So we can say, hey, look, we're doing as much as we can to expose you guys to whatever it is that you want to try to do. We want to try to help so that you don't go into the system, and so that we may bust your reality and say, you know, the social media thing, the influencer, rapper, actor, whatever it is, entertainment might not be the route for you. Not trying to discourage anybody's dreams, but I think a lot of kids now aspire to just blow up overnight. Yeah. But they need to understand you got to put in work to get where you want to go.
And that's why I asked you that about, especially about the labor force. I know a lot of kids are coming out now. They want to be rappers. They want to be influencers, social media people, that type of thing. And there's a lot of jobs that's out here that's available. If you got a trade, if you know how to do HVAC, that kind of thing, like there's a lot of jobs out here. And I don't think we as a community are even aware of those.
And they pay very well.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Like the CEO of Ford announced a couple weeks ago they got 5,000 mechanic jobs open that nobody's applying for, pay six figures.
Wow.
So like you making those kind of partnerships, right, with big companies and small companies, saying, look, we want to come together, figure out how we connect folks to these jobs, how we expose them, how we train them, and make sure people get paid while they train. 'Cause that's a problem too that I think deters a lot of people from going into the workforce, is because in order to learn a skill like HVAC, mechanic, whatever, you got to be trained to do it. In the old ways, you didn't get paid during training. And now, I mean, we're in an affordability crisis. The average cost of a one-bedroom in Georgia is $1,200 a month.
Right.
If you got kids, the average child care cost is $9,000 a year. And so minimum wage is $725. So if you're at the minimums on these things, it might cost you money while you're trying to make money.
Right.
So we got to figure out that piece too.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying we got to attack that early on. We got to get those type of incentives and programs back into the schools. I think if you can get a kid going at 15, 16 and knowing the direction he want to go in, whether it be a trade or whatever, at that point, at least he got that under the belt. So if he don't go to school, he got something to fall back on. So he has a less risk of going to the streets opposed to just actually being active in the trade that he's learned.
I agree.
So let me ask you this. So in Georgia right now, minimum wage is what?
$7.25.
$7.25 an hour.
Hasn't changed in 16 years.
That's what I thought. Okay, so my next question is, you get in.
Yes,
We're going to get him in.
Right.
Yes, sir.
When you get in, again, it comes back to my red tape question. You know that there is no way possible anyone could survive off $7.25. So what actions can you take to really affect that realistically? And I'm asking that because, again, I know you mean well, but I also know how politics work. So what is your actionable plan for that, and how realistic is it for you, and how much time do you think it would take?
I appreciate that question. And what I've been talking to my team about, too, is especially around this issue, is making sure that we're saying it the right way, not misleading people, letting people know exactly what power the labor commissioner has around this topic, which is I don't have the power to change minimum wage on my own. That's the state reps and the state senators, the legislature.
Right.
So what my role will be is being the biggest mouthpiece, finding those folks who are willing to make the laws to change it, to amend it, and just staying on it, staying vocal, staying loud, not going away, letting people know that I'm fighting for that, and being the pusher of that going in the right direction. Other states have done it. I don't know why. Georgia, states in the South, we're always the last to come around when it comes to, I think, improving life on a bigger scale for our citizens. Southern states are always fall behind. So hopefully we can make a push. And we know that Atlanta influences everything. Right. But if we start things off in Atlanta and they spread throughout the state of Georgia, then I want to create a ripple effect where we see other southern states follow suit.
So when you get in this position, because it's not a me thing, it is a we thing.
Absolutely.
What is something that the citizens and the people and the voters can do to help you make those things happen once you're in office?
I think if you're a business owner, being willing to partner with us to say, hey, look, I have this many internships available, this many jobs available. We want you guys to advertise and expose people to that. Working with the technical college system to say, hey, look, we want to create internships and pathways to people. We'll partner with you guys. Working with people in the technology space who might be willing to provide free coding camps. I mean, technology, AI, that's the thing now. So if we can train people and teach kids how to use it, if we can get the folks already doing it to, a Saturday or Sunday, provide a couple hours to the community, come show kids how to do it. Those type of things where we just get buy-in from everybody. Yeah. We get everybody believing we can make us better. Like you said, it's a we thing. We have to want to see us all prosper. And I'll tie it back into the criminal justice system and why it matters from this front. When crime rates go down, property values go up, right? If you got more people working, that brings more business to the state. Georgia always brags about being a state where businesses are attracted to come, and we do well in that space. But we got to take care of our workforce who operate those businesses.
Right.
So it's a cycle. Everything in life is cycles. If we start tearing away at those negative cycles, creating more positive ones, it's a win-win for everybody. Because if somebody's busy working, that means they ain't got time to rob us, right? Exactly. They ain't got time to commit crimes. Crime rates go down, property values go up, employment rate goes up. We all make more money. This is the bottom line, and that's what everybody wants to do is make more money.
So right now I feel like, and I know this is a extreme word to use, but I kind of do feel like we're in a crisis right now because it's a crossroads where we are because, again, we're not making more money, but everything is exponentially higher. Everything costs way more than it ever has. So it's like you're competing with trying to find a job that can help you pay your bills. Now you're competing with AI. Now you're competing with forces that are not even in your control because, again, the government is shutting down companies so where you can't even find somewhere to work. So how do we maintain? Like, seriously, I know, like, putting
$7.25.
Yeah, with $7.25, it's like it's unrealistic. So why do you think the people, like you said, so it's the senators and people like that who really can change these laws?
Senators and state reps, the lawmakers, right?
What is it in their brain that is making them think that we can survive without committing crime by keeping that $7.25? In your opinion, like, why do you think they're not?
Because when you really think about $7.25, and you just said the minimum one-bedroom apartment is $1,200.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they want to change that so crime would go down? And I ain't even did the math on that. And I mean, $7.25, is that even $1,000 at the end of the month?
Well, so I got the math for you. That's $15,000 a year before taxes. The $1,200 for that one bedroom, that's $14,400. So if you make $15,000 a year, but you're paying $14,400 in rent, that leaves you $600 for the whole year.
For the year.
You didn't buy groceries. You didn't pay for daycare. You didn't pay for gas for your car, your bills. That's it. So to your point,
how do you live?
Why don't they want us to do that?
I have an idea, but I want to know what you're going to say. Prisons make money is really my answer.
The criminal justice system is about money, and I can say that from having lived on both sides of it. Growing up seeing my mom and my grandmother going in and out of the system, having an uncle serving life for murder, and then overcoming that. First in family, graduate from college, master's, law degree, and then going working for the system. One of the coolest stories I can tell you, and I'll make it a long story short, I helped a kid who got arrested at 17 for marijuana possession, create a diversion program for him. The kid ends up going to college, playing college football at Tennessee. When I did that for him, my immediate supervising attorney, a black woman, threatened to fire me. She said, "We ain't social services. We're not community organizers. We're prosecutors. Our job is convictions and bringing money into the system." So that mentality showed me that the system doesn't care about rehabilitation. And when I ran for district attorney and attorney general, and people looked at me crazy, like I was bucking the system. It was too progressive. It was too far out there. Mary Norwood, white woman on Atlanta City Council, offered to give me her endorsement when I ran, but she says you have to be willing to publicly say you'll put juvenile youthful offenders on prison farms as a way of rehabilitation.
Wow.
I said, "Mary, that sounds like slavery."
Right.
So you're right. The system is all about dollars and cents. And there's a lot of chatter now about some of the things that you're seeing coming out of D.C. with Trump deploying a National Guard in different cities, because crime rates have started to go down in some places. But when crime rates go down, and how I talked about cycles, you're right, prisons start making less money, and a lot of prisons get their funding by how many bodies they have in those prisons.
Right.
Good money too.
So then it's, we talked on your show last time about why I feel like in Georgia, one of the reasons we won't legalize marijuana here is because if a police pulls your car over and they smell it, that gives them the right to search your car without having to ask, without having a warrant. They have the probable cause to do it. But if we legalize, then that goes away, right? So that means, again, crime rates go down. It's a system that we have to start breaking. You have to have people like myself bold enough and willing to say it, to call it out, and want to do something about it by running for positions like this one.
So Trump recently
That's what I was about to.
is trying to reclassify marijuana, right?
Right.
This is on a federal level, correct?
Yep.
We talked about that last time too.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of people got hyped. I said, "Oh yeah, let me put my MAGA hat on." What does that really mean for us?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Explain to the dummies why. Y'all so stupid. Y'all fall for anything, man. Like Trump just be like, he like misdirection. He be like, "Hey, look at this over here. He tearing your ass up over here."
Yeah, Trump did some stuff to help his people get votes and say that, like you said, throw the MAGA hats on and throw him praise. But for us in the state of Georgia, I'll just stick with Georgia, it's still illegal. It being rescheduled from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, it's on a federal level, it's still illegal. One of the reasons I feel like he won't just declassify it, they have to figure out a way to be able to tax it. I mean, that's what happened with alcohol. When alcohol became legal after Prohibition, I mean, alcohol, it takes a lot longer, there's a bigger process to make it. Like most people, some people brew stuff in their house, but it's not like anybody can grow a plant because it just grows from the ground. So it's how do you regulate it? How do you tax it? How do you make that money on it? And I know I'm getting off topic, but that's one of the reasons why I think it may never
crazy
be
because
legalized.
when you say that, Canada, which is a country that kind of is the advocate for marijuana, they legalized it, and they one of the biggest streams of income is marijuana. It's marijuana sales, and I'm just trying to understand why we as America haven't adapted that system.
Facts. And Canada got some good ass weed too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Canada has free health care for their citizens. I mean, Canada does a lot differently than we.
I'm moving, Jack. Fuck America, man. I'm going.
I ain't say all that.
Nah, I said it. He ain't say that.
I want to be the president one day. So,
yeah.
Is that your ultimate goal?
yes, I probably should have said that now, but
That's fine.
But that's dope, man. I
love that.
I like the fact you think like that.
So do
you know
I.
What I'm saying?
So do I. Let me button up. I'm gonna curse around this future president, man. I'm sorry.
Future
man.
president, man. You
Got
gotta
too
act
comfortable.
right. Tighten up.
Yeah,
Tighten up.
Button up.
Tighten up.
So explain to the audience too, who don't even know what that reclassification means. So it went from a 1 to a 3.
yeah. So Schedule 1, it means it carries a much harsher sentence. 3 is less severe, less penalties. But the bottom line, I think people need to know, like you were saying, when people were getting excited, it's still illegal.
You still going to jail,
It
Jack.
was not legalized On a federal level, and for us here in Georgia, we talked about this last time with the city of Atlanta and East Point, and there are about 17 or 19 municipalities. The municipalities legalize it, meaning that if a police officer comes up to you under that specific, like in Atlanta, it's called the Atlanta City Code of Ordinances, or MUNICode is what Atlanta ordinance law is written under. But then Georgia state law trumps that Atlanta City Code. Right. Police officers are not going to come up and write you a citation under Atlanta City Code. They're going to write it under state law where they can still arrest you for less than an ounce. It's up to 12 months in jail. It's up to a $1,000 fine. But once you hit more than an ounce, it's a felony. Felony, 1 to 3, depending on how much weight you have. Then the more weight you have, the more time you're looking at, the more money and penalties you're looking at. Then once you hit a certain threshold, then you're looking at trafficking, which is a lot more severe. So please, in the state of Georgia, don't smoke and drive.
Please.
If you smoke or you're around people who smoke, just know that you're running a risk if you drive because you smell like it. The officers will come up and say, hey, I smell marijuana. Like I mentioned, that gives them probable cause to search you in your car.
So being a prosecutor, I want to ask you this. This is going to the prosecutor side. I got to ask you.
Former prosecutor.
Former prosecutor.
Yeah.
I got to ask you this, and I know you probably can speak on it being that you are a former prosecutor. Because the myth is like, okay, if you sell weed, you can only get up to 3 years. How much time have you actually seen people get in jail for marijuana? Large scale, small scale, like give me the real on what it is so that this whole myth of if you sell marijuana, you're only going to get 3 years.
When I was in the DA's office, I didn't do many marijuana cases. I had a lot of crack and cocaine cases, which obviously that's a lot different.
Right.
But most of the marijuana cases I had, people got probation or I was able to get them.
Yeah, because probably under an ounce.
Yeah.
No.
In the DA's office, that's felony. That means it's more than an ounce.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I don't think I saw many people get time for marijuana. I mean, probation, yeah, or some kind of a program, but not actual, other than when you first get arrested, then you got to,
But
you got to sit and wait on that.
But even if you had a large amounts of marijuana, let's say you had 10 pounds.
Well, that's different. That's different. And I personally, I didn't touch those cases. But yeah, if you got 10 pounds, you're looking at trafficking, yeah, you're gonna sit down for a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to get that out the way because I had you on the show, and I was always wondering because that's been the myth for so long. Like they make people think that you can have these large amounts of marijuana and you only gonna get a couple years.
My boy did, I want to say 3 years in prison for like a couple pounds in Alabama.
Oh, wow.
And they put him in the country.
Alabama got to be the worst.
Boy, what he out there breaking rocks and shit. That slavery you was talking about. Hey, what she call those? What she call it? How she try to call it?
She called them. She said I had to be willing to put juvenile youth for offenders on prison farms for rehabilitation.
Prison farms.
Yeah.
But
that's a plantation.
But that's almost similar to what they already do with boot camp, right?
It's like the boot camps, like you said, places in Alabama or other southern states that still have the chain gangs or the modern day chain gangs. Same thing.
Yeah. Either way, you want to stay away from all that.
Oh, yeah.
All of that.
Oh, man, that's right. That's right. You want to stay away from all that.
Man. So I do want to go back to, because it's so interesting talking to you because we don't get to talk to lawyers. So you were a prosecutor and then you said you had that incident where you saw really what was going on and how it was really. Is that what made you change over to the other side? Was it that one incident or was it a few things?
I mean, that was the first big one. I mean, a few more happened like that where I started to develop the thought of, I think I'm going to run for office one day. I think I want to be a voice for people like me, who look like me, who from places like where I'm from, who just don't know. And that's one of the biggest things I found out about politics is that I think we've been conditioned to think that we're not smart enough, we're not good enough, that there's no seat at the table for us. And that's how we end up getting left behind and left out. I grew up in Cincinnati where I didn't see a black mayor. I didn't know any black lawyers growing up. Like I mentioned, I'm the first in my family from my neighborhood that graduated from college. So, when I come to Atlanta, and obviously, black folks are doing great
all my life.
Wakanda, baby.
All my life.
Exactly. There's no place on the world like Atlanta, and I don't think I would have the confidence and the voice and the sense of purpose that I have if I lived anywhere other than Atlanta. But yeah, man, it's a lot still needs to be changed. A lot needs to be done, and I wish that more people would speak up about it. But most people just go to work, do what they told to do, and go home. And I think the only reason I was different when I was a prosecutor was because of how I grew up and what I saw. And there are not many people who overcome what I did to, go to college, let alone become a lawyer and go work in a prosecutor's office. So, my lens and how I looked at stuff was way different. And I've had people that I've helped over the years, come like the kid I was talking about who played college football and he graduated from University of Tennessee. His name is Justin. I went to his graduation. He came to my wedding. He made it to the NFL. He accomplished his dream. And, he would tell me all the time, like, bro, if I would have got any other prosecutor in there, my life story would be different.
Oh, yeah.
And that hits me. I think about that a lot. How many people don't get a prosecutor like me?
Most
where
don't.
Their
Most
life
don't.
is
That's
hard now, where if somebody would have just took the time to say, you know what, I see something in you, let me give you an opportunity to change things instead of just giving you this conviction and now your life is over.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And people make mistakes. I think it's the law doesn't see that everyone is human. Like, all right, some crimes are unforgivable, right? But like things like weed or whatever, or just survival. Somebody who's making $7.25 an hour is going to make some decisions about survival, just trying to survive. And I feel like once they get you in that system, it's purposely set to sabotage you for life.
But you definitely put confirmation on what I thought about prosecutors. You put the confirmation on it. Is they heartless? Some of them you rarely find some that's in there like that may have a heart, but most of the time they're trying to get the conviction and the money.
Yeah, it's what we see a lot on TV. You see prosecutors portrayed where they'll walk around and say, "Oh, I got a 99% conviction rate." Like it's like they know it because they care about it, and that's what they're taught. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's just a number on a file. It's not a name or a real person. But to me, I'm like, these are real people. And I can say one of the first cases that just broke my heart, I had a young lady who had a newborn baby. She got arrested for shoplifting at Walmart, stealing diapers and formula. Mm-hmm. It's like you said, just trying to survive. She couldn't. It wasn't like she was stealing electronics or anything crazy
Diapers.
to go try to sell it and make money. She got caught stealing diapers and formula for her newborn baby. And I'm like, what I look like sending this lady to jail? Like, but I'm gonna do something to try to help you put you on a pathway where you can provide better for you and your baby. So I just made up my own diversion program for her on the spot. Say, hey, you go do these certain things, you go get your GED. I'll dismiss this case so that you can have the opportunity to make a better life. But I'm like, I can't put. What do I look like trying to convict you? You're just trying to survive and provide for your baby.
But even as a prosecutor, you have to look at that like if she ain't even got the resources to go get diapers, right? Will she have the resources to go take a class? Will she have the things she need, everything you're doing to try to keep her from probably getting charged or going to jail? Will she,
Great
Better
question.
than going to jail, though.
Great.
Yeah, but it's kind of like
Lesser of two evils, yeah.
Yeah, because you're kind of still setting her up still, like you just delaying the situation.
No, so at that back in those days, I had a guy who it was a free GED program that I set her up with. So yeah, it didn't cost her any money. She just had to go. She had to not prove to me, but prove to herself, like take this seriously. Go get your GED. I'll throw this case out. So now at least you have the foundation of an education to go get a job.
But wouldn't it be to the court's benefit to have, just say you had a situation like that and she had to go get a GED, wouldn't it be a great situation? Because you got parole, not parole, you got probation, you got all these different programs that they offer you to pay for once you get into a situation. Was she allowed to pay for the GED, or was it a free program? I mean, outside of if you didn't have a friend, would that program have been offered to her by the courts for free?
I don't remember. I mean, we talking
know
about
it's a while
2013.
back,
But I think to your point, though, you're right in terms of when people get put on probation, like their probation fees. If people have to do drug screens, they have to pay for those.
They got everything.
So right, like you're right. All the classes, they do have a cost associated with it, And that could be a means to set people up to fail.
Yeah.
And especially if somebody's on probation for a really long time and they have a lot of conditions. Like, think about Young Thug. You know, his probation terms, to me, are crazy. And I think they want him to fail. I hope he doesn't. I hope he takes advantage of getting rid of that case, getting behind him, and being able to do what he's doing.
But it's set up for him to fail.
There's so many that he has so many boxes to check off, and if he misses one, then they can violate him and send him back. So yeah, that is a reality for a lot of people.
That was just my only thing I thought about. Like, even when being from a prosecutor standpoint, I just feel like probation and a lot of those things are like a setup, a prolonged situation for whom now, okay, we knew you was gonna do this. Now we got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
I had a little situation going on, but coming in from a person that's been through that whole situation, right? And you was with the rehabilitation that I would call, just like you were saying with the trades. Instead of us just going down there and being nobodies and just wasting our life, why don't they give that opportunity for us? Okay, look, you down here for, especially for people that are non-violent offenders, like you said, non-real big criminals, like you say, for little stealings and stuff like that, traffic tickets, DUIs, people that don't have, because you take a person's whole livelihood away from them. You know what I'm saying? With little minor, like the convictions I have from just misdemeanor, not misdemeanor, but marijuana sales. You know what I'm saying? You can't go get a place to stay. Because why? Of the felony conviction. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So now you're trying to tell me a person that has some weed, some cocaine, whatever the situation may have been, you trying to tell them they don't deserve a place to live? That's how it is, though. You feel me?
Yeah, they cocaine.
I ain't laughing at you, bro.
It's cocaine.
Because you're right. Keep going.
What I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so now, not even that you can't get a place to live, I can't even go get a job.
Right.
Because certain jobs, they're going to tell you, oh, no, we can't hire you. So I'm just speaking on from my I wanted to be the coach at the University of Georgia, right? And I could be a prime candidate. You know what I'm saying? But what are they going to do? They're just going to go look at the file. Oh, man, we would love to hire you, but you have a felony conviction. So now, you know how they say it's supposed to be, what is it, once you've done your crime, it should be, you've done the
do
time
the crime,
for your
you do the
punishment,
time,
it should be gone,
yeah.
Right. But no, they like to wham you over the head with it and still bring up your past. Yeah. So how, like you said, and I'm glad that you're about to start running for the office that you're going to, because we need that kind of change to where we can just not lock everybody down. Because, like, I go get a job. If I was them 3 years I did, I would have loved to learn to be an electrician or a plumber. I'm sitting there and I'm learning how to make soups. And I can't come out. Yeah, I can't come out and be no productive citizen that kind of way. I thought as Americans, we were supposed to be trying to improve each other. So if we got this kind of situation going on, right? Well, instead of just sending them in the box like rats and dogs, let's educate them while they're in there. Oh, but they don't, I'm just going to say, I guess they don't want smart niggas. You know what I'm saying? So they want to keep you in the box. You know what I'm saying? So they want you to come out dumb, like you said, and set you up for failure like Thug. You know what I'm saying? But...
And your question is?
Yeah.
I'm going to take all that vent. And are there real second chances? Is it set up to realistically give us second chances? Somebody like what he said.
I will say that most prosecutors' offices have some type of diversion program.
Right.
The problem is it's up to the prosecutor you get in court whether they want to open up that opportunity to you or not. So there's a lot of subjectivity in the criminal justice system. Like how I mentioned with Justin, if somebody else got that case, they probably wouldn't have did what I did. But because it was me, I was willing to. And in my time as a criminal defense attorney on my own, I mean, that's been my experience. I go to different counties, Cobb, Gwinnett, Fulton. I had a case recently down in Bryan County, which is down near Savannah. And they're offering these crazy plea recommendations, but then once you push back and fight and say, look, I know that there's something else that we can do here.
Oh, yeah.
But they just, for whatever reason, they aren't willing to do it from the beginning. So maybe to your point, I think it is a systemic problem. It's a historical problem about how black people were viewed, especially coming through the criminal justice system. And we got to fight tooth and nail to get those opportunities. One, to keep our records clean, to get the access to education, to get the access to jobs. But a lot has to change in the system. And I think one of the ways to do it, I know this is going to sound cliche, but we need more black people to run for office. Or not just black people, black, brown, people who come from poverty, people who come from struggle, people who have family members who've been through the system. If we have more district attorneys and attorney generals with those kind of backgrounds who can understand, like, let me not just look at a number on a file, but let me look at a person and let me look at how we can help this person shift and transform, then that's how we start to see real change.
I remember last show we were talking about Killer Mike for what, mayor?
Yeah.
Yeah, we was talking about
Michael Render for mayor.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
I love
But
it.
I've been thinking about running for office. I talked to my man.
Okay.
I talked to my man Kwanzaa the other day, and I'm just a real advocate for the community, man. It's like, especially being from Atlanta, when you start seeing certain areas of the city, especially like where I'm from, being in Decatur now. I live in South DeKalb. I seen it when it was at its peak, and now I'm seeing it as, you know, the decline has happened. You know what I'm saying? So now we need that kind of structure in our communities to raise it up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to have a voice. We just can't keep riding by it and keep going, well, this is that and that is this, and nobody's making action to make no changes. Somebody got to go, I got to step in and make a change.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
You should run.
Yeah.
You just said it. You run.
You the people we the people we need.
Yeah,
Right.
so-
Well, because we need somebody on the inside fighting for us. And we're
Right.
getting pushed out of the city. That was a conversation we were having on last episode, too. Like,
Yeah.
when I say we, y'all know what I mean when I say we getting pushed out because we don't even have the money to compete with these large corporations who are pushing us out. So, even with
Especially,
that,
I'm still going back to $1,200 rent and $7.25 minimum wage.
It's
That's
crazy.
unbelievable for me to sit here and even fathom that. And I know about when I'm thinking about the crime and I'm looking at these young guys and I'm going like, shit, I wouldn't go work for $7.25.
you're wasting your time.
Right.
It's
So-
costing you
Money.
more.
It's costing you to go to work.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So can you imagine the kid you telling go get a job, go get a job, go get a job, and he's got to go work at a place that's paying $8 or $9 an hour, but he's got $1,200 rent to pay. He ain't talking about if he got a kid.
Right. Now, I do
See what
want
I'm
to say this, though, and I don't want to make light of it, but some people, man, I want to say two things. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say
God, here we
this.
go.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go back to something serious. But, yo, some people in the workforce, like, I'm glad AI going to take their jobs because some people really suck at their job. Like, I'm just being real. Like,
What type of job you talking about?
I'm going to give you the perfect example. Today, I go to Jersey Mike's to get a sandwich, right? I'm standing in line, right? And the dude making my sandwich, I told him what I want. Bro, it's not rocket science. It's just making a sandwich, bro. I said, yo, I want pickles, onions, lettuce, tomatoes. He put the onions on there. He's like, what else you say? I'm like, pickles. He put 1, 2. I got the big sandwich. I'm hungry, right? That man put 4 pickles on my sandwich. I swear to God. He went, bloop.
So what you saying? You want a robot?
I think a robot would have
Look,
been
I'ma
better
tell you,
off
see,
making
wait,
my
hold up,
sandwich,
hold
bro.
up.
I don't like the robot.
Because he was pissing
Now,
me
what
off.
did he just say last week?
No, I did. No, I said I wouldn't let a robot in my house.
No.
You ain't gonna catch me,
H.
bro. I said,
What did he say?
no, H. I said I won't let a robot drive
He did not want
me.
a robot, didn't he?
I said, listen, I won't let a robot drive me, and I won't let a robot in my house.
I don't want
They
the
can make
robot
me a
making my
sandwich.
food.
Cap.
They can make me a
I
sandwich.
can't make your sandwich because look, when they make your sandwich, they gonna program it to only give you 2 pickles.
No,
Now you ain't even gonna be able to. Hey, bro, throw a little bit on the sandwich. It's gonna be over with.
You're right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't even-
They gonna give you 2 onions, not the
can't
whole
give-
little onion. They gonna give you 2 little.
They give you exactly what you're supposed to
I
do.
can't give him that look like I gave homie. I look at him like,
Right,
Yeah, I know you're good.
the extra mayonnaise or whatever you want on there. There's 2 squirts. Yep. That's all. You can't argue with the computer. Look, hey, see where we're going? I
all
don't
right,
want. Listen,
you're right.
leave him alone.
All right, so with that, as part of being
Leave him alone, really. Hey,
so your job is to give people jobs. But how do you feel about people compete with AI?
Because if you commissioner, you are gonna have to make a decision, like
For sure.
the workforce as far as AI and real people.
I think one of the things that we can do is train people on how to use AI, right? Like,
Right.
so AI doesn't run itself. I mean,
Thank
the
you.
data
Correct.
centers that are being built across the state.
Hackers. That's all I'm saying, bro. Hackers. What else? This is my thing with things go wrong.
Right.
Malfunction.
Right.
Computer malfunction. Your computer ain't ever malfunction. Would you let a robot in your house? I don't want to cut you off. Would you let a robot in your house?
Hey, man,
I just want to ask him.
Now he trying to defend.
No.
I told him he's cap.
I just want to ask him.
I have 4 kids, so I got people.
Hey, look, he got his own little robot.
As a labor commissioner, I shouldn't say it, but I got free labor. In
You got a labor commission in the
I got a 17-year-old son, a 14-year-old that I had. My son go take out the
got a
trash.
whole workforce at home.
That's your labor farm?
I got a workforce in the house. But no, AI is interesting because it's steadily evolving. We're steadily learning it. But I think there are opportunities there. How we figure out how we create jobs around the AI. I mean, there's going to be construction jobs around the centers that are being built for it. There are going to be people, like you said, when things crash, real humans are going to have to be the ones to figure out how to fix them. So I don't know how to answer that other than how I've just answered it. Right. But there's going to be different ways for us to figure out how to work around.
Have you ever gotten inside of one of those cars? What they call it?
Waymo.
Yeah. Nope.
Would you?
Nope.
Thank you. Come give me some, bro. Give me some, man.
Hold
Playing
on,
with
I
their
tried
life.
it.
Y'all playing with y'all life.
I did it.
You got in it?
Yeah, I did it. I don't like them
Listen,
neither, though, because because one night it was late night, I ain't feel like, you know what I'm saying, you were drinking and driving. So I'm like, bro, it's the only thing that came. You know what I'm saying? I waited. And then so I jumped in it, and it don't pick you up where you supposed to be at. I had to walk. And like literally, and it's supposed to be the computer.
Malfunction, bro.
It malfunctioned, literally. Like, if it's supposed to be the computer, you should know where my dot is. Why are you at the Greyhound?
That alone would have made me not.
You know what I'm saying?
The Greyhound. You was at Magic.
Yeah, I was at Magic.
I know my dog. I know my dog, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm right here. You're down there. Why do I need to be walking?
And you still trusted didn't got in it.
Right.
You tripping.
But look, I wasn't drinking and driving.
But did it
you
take
see
you
how
home?
I'm doing?
But
I wasn't drinking and driving.
But did it take you home?
Yeah, it got me there.
Thank you.
I trust my driving more than I trust it.
I got a quick question, though, real quick. I don't know if y'all had spoke on it while I was gone.
That's not the answer.
Sorry, guys.
He's joking.
I'm joking, guys.
He's joking.
Don't drink and drive.
Never.
And don't get in that Waymo neither. Call a chick. Everybody should have a chick on standby they can call.
I got a question. If y'all didn't speak on it already, the reclassification?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I missed that. Okay.
But ask your question because it might have been a different question.
So would that help past or present people? I missed it. Y'all already spoke on that.
Oh, no, that's a good question.
That is a good question. So there are a lot of people who I believe their records need to be adjusted. Folks who were convicted under whatever penalty they got when it was a Schedule 1. But the problem is in Georgia, it still means it's a felony. So that the felony will still be there. Their sentence might have been different, the terms of it. But on a federal level, if they're saying that, look, we can now pardon some folks, we can clean them, expunge them, or restrict them off records, I think there's going to have to be some kind of a council or coalition. Some board is going to have to be put together on a federal level to figure out that next piece of it. Because you're right, some folks are going to be able to benefit from having their records cleaned up in some way, shape, or form that I don't know fully, at this second, but I can imagine something's going to happen.
So what do that mean if it goes to a Schedule 3? What do that mean for misdemeanors? If you had a record, you had misdemeanor arrest for marijuana, what do that do for you?
Nothing.
Still on your record?
Still on your record. But, I mean, misdemeanors are already looked at a little bit differently than felonies anyway.
Right.
And I think the ultimate thing, though, for people, especially when it comes to job applications or applying to schools or different loans or apartments, is when that question comes up, have you ever been arrested? The answer will probably still be yes. Then it's, have you ever been convicted of anything? Until they expunge or restrict your record, you still have to answer yes for that question. And that's what my previous answer was, is we're going to have to figure out whose records can now be expunged or whose won't change at all.
But if you think about it like this, right? If I'm in jail right now on a marijuana charge, I'm looking at this like
the dispensaries.
Like, how do I get out of this? It's got to be a loophole. I mean, if I'm sitting in a Georgia prison right now, and I was arrested for marijuana, and I got arrested under Schedule 1, it's got to be a loophole to where now that they're gonna reschedule as a Schedule 3, it's got to be a way I can get out of this time I got. or get it lessened or probation or something.
Because it's still illegal under state law. So like that's where most of the confusion is going to come in, and that's where the problem comes in. So like California, right? It's legal under California state law. A year ago, I went out when Exhibit opened West Coast. I forget the name of his shop. I went to his grand opening, and it hit me like a ton of bricks that I'm looking at people who work in this shop. They've created jobs. They've created an ecosystem where people can provide for their families. There's a big grand opening. People were celebrating. But I'm like, when I go back home to Atlanta, people go to prison for this. And so that's where the discrepancies come in. Is the federal law is one thing, but then now state laws are something different. And so in Georgia, because it's still illegal under our state law, you can still be convicted of it and for it, and then the people who have those convictions, there's nothing we can do about their records yet.
So when you say that, and I'm saying that this is being devil's advocate, if it's illegal on a federal level, right? As you were doing that opening, a federal agency could have came in and arrested everybody in there for marijuana, right?
Yeah.
Because you said it's illegal federally.
Yeah.
Technically, you're right.
It's legal statewide. So if somebody was in there doing something where they may have been on a federal investigation and they chose that day to go and get them in the store.
That's deep.
Great point.
Technically, you're right, but it don't happen like that because the feds aren't. It's not worth their time. You know what I'm saying?
At least we think that. But if you
theoretically right, and that's
why I said technically you're right, but. Think about it, like you say, once they done went through all those processes of getting the legal licenses and everything like that, unless there was some other underhanded business going on that the feds were like, you know what, we're going to go get them here because we know they're going to be there, then yeah, but it's not worth their time. It ain't
resources,
I'm speaking from experience, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, it ain't worth their time. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, I wish we could do it state. Just why not follow the California law? Like you said, instead of us, or we were speaking on earlier, how that generated a job ecosystem. Mm-hmm. That same, instead of locking us up in Georgia, let us create that job ecosystem. Instead of locking us up, that way everybody is what? It's positive. Like you said, you went over there, and it was a celebration. You created because you needed more security, correct? You got employees for bud tenders, correct? People that come in and you got to hire a manager, correct? That also generates more cash flow for banks. You know what I'm saying? So
that sounds good, but I'm gonna get paid daily for you in a prison.
You're gonna get paid daily from this store too.
No, I might if I get a customer that want to come in and buy marijuana, but I'm guaranteed to get paid for you daily in a prison.
But then you also get, and this is where we play, I guess, that's why they don't care over here, is that, okay, you just going to make the money, so you just want unproductive citizens.
I mean, when you look at it, it's a prison system.
Yeah. It's a trap, right?
But then they want to complain about the country being the way it is.
They don't care.
They don't care. I mean, you got to think about it. When you look at Trump. Trump's whole thing is he's paving a way for his people, which is the rich. So they don't care about how much time you got to do.
This is corporate America.
They're making money for every person that's in that building.
Yeah.
Am I
corporate before America, bro.
You're right. That's what they always say. It is corporate America.
Yeah.
So, right. But also with the rich people are the ones be doing all the crooked shit because they got the money to do it.
It ain't that they can get away with it.
Yeah. Got to have friends in high places.
They got the resources to get away with it.
Get some better friends. That's why we're changing our friend group. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, we just trying to say, I just want to, it's me seeing both sides of the world also. Like he said, my family over here thinks I'm a bad guy, I'm a criminal. But when you go to the West Coast, you're a businessman. You know what I'm saying? It's just that silly from two different sides of the spectrum. Your grandma in the West Coast, she gonna be like, hey, baby, you got some of that good weed? What you selling over there? Your grandmama on the East Coast, she gonna be like, oh, boy, get that out my house. You know what I'm saying? So, depending on what kind of grandma you got, but you know what I mean. Some grandmas might have been cool, some may not have been, but it's just the different sides of the world. And half the country's already kind of legal. At least, 25 to 28 states, right?
So what was the point of what Trump did then? ultimately.
I actually think it was the help though, because but
pointless.
you say it though, you're the lawyer. Because it did to me, if it ain't Schedule 1, which is like fentanyl and the other stuff, right? Schedule 3 does help something. Yeah. It's a progress, right? So we ain't Schedule 1 no more. We down. So at least maybe next year it'll come down to another level. You feel me?
But it didn't help us. Because like when you was going, he was saying Georgia didn't agree to that. So it's like, all right, yeah.
It's
all right,
federal.
cool.
So we're going to say this then.
Him reducing it to a Schedule 3, it means something on the federal level, but on the state level, it still has the same laws. Am I correct?
Right.
It's
yeah.
the same
Laws in Georgia
statute.
are still the same.
Yeah, same statute.
So to say this, then y'all keep moving how y'all been moving, and go to the West Coast if you want to have.
Let me just get clarity. Really, what you're saying is, if I was a drug dealer, right, and I was selling drugs, if I got caught in the state, like in the city of Atlanta, right, and it wasn't a Fed charge, I'm gonna get judged by state law. But if I was selling weed and the Feds picked it up, then I can get it's a Schedule 3 in federal court, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, but from my experience, I guess to give a more clear example, usually the federal law with weed only comes into play if it's trafficking. Crossing state lines.
A bigger trap.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because that's whenever you cross state lines, it's federal at that point. But yeah, under state law, if it's misdemeanor.
Yeah, if you get 10 pounds under state law, you're gonna get state time. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna get state time. That's not fair time.
It depends on
if the feds pick it up, right?
I do remember having a case that I was on briefly, where we're talking about more than 100 pounds, but the feds came in and took it from us. So something on that level is like, yeah, you might have to worry about the feds coming in.
Yeah, 100 or better. They ain't coming
but,
in.
But what I'm asking, if the feds do come in and it's a marijuana charge, are you looking at that? Like, where does he draw the line of it being a Schedule 3 drug? Like, is it at a certain amount? Is it at you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
I see what you're saying. Because if you got 100 pounds, then it's federal, but it'll be a Schedule 3 federal charge, right? Instead of being a Schedule 1.
Right.
But then that way, if you're under the state jurisdiction, correct? So then you would get charged with the state instead of federal. Is that
right? Because I'm basing it on the amount.
On the amount, right?
Yeah, I don't think
because 10 ain't
it's
gonna
based on
get
the
you federal time. 10 ain't gonna get you the Fed. You feel me? 100 gonna get you to the Fed. 10 ain't gonna get you feds, but it will be a schedule. Is it still under state? So I think what you're saying is state. Would it be a Schedule 3 or a Schedule 1 still?
So what I interpret them doing by making it a Schedule 3 is telling states that you can now make it a Schedule 3 for states where it's still illegal. Right. But for your example about how much you have, the weight doesn't matter for the schedule. It's the type of drug that matters for the schedule.
So you got that ZA, that's a what?
Nah, man.
Nah. He going back to that Fenty fan.
That man-made stuff.
You got that ZA.
That man-made stuff.
That man said cocaine and crack.
That man-made stuff. It's when you got that ZA.
That cocaine and crack. Hey, guys, don't sell drugs, guys. Don't sell drugs. God. You don't want no schedule. You don't
no
want
schedules, right?
1, 2, or 3.
We
Stay off the schedule, dog.
We want a good check schedule, man. That's all we want.
Payment schedule.
Yeah, payment schedule. That's the only kind of schedule.
There you go, man.
That's it. And that's what he's going to help us do, because we're going to get him in office. We're going to get him in office. So I know we're taking up a lot of time. What closing statements do you want to leave to the people? Because we did have some fun, but what do you want to leave the people with? What's the jewel you want to leave?
If you're ready for change, and I know you hear people say that all the time, but real change, I think, comes from the character of the person saying it. If you want to see somebody in office who's probably from a place like you're from, who's been through some of the things that you've been through, who has a family that's like yours, no silver spoon, one-handed anything, knows the struggle, then go to wisesforthepeople.com, help us win this election. Not help me, help us. It's me winning, it's us winning. Support these brothers, follow this channel, subscribe, like it, share it. Be educated on different things. I appreciate you guys for using your platform to even talk about politics and how, rescheduling and all of that stuff affects people. I think that if we want to see the changes we want to see, we have to be it.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
If you want to see changes, you got to be it. Run for office. Go apply for the job. Go to school. Don't be afraid to be different. Life is a series of moments and choices. all of us, every day, we presented with different moments. We make the choices in that moments. We make a choice to either be better or worse, to grow or not. Let's go and grow together and win together.
Yes, sir. And what name are we saying on the ballot?
Christian Wise Smith.
Esquire. Make some noise, man.
Yes,
The We
sir.
Outside
Yes,
Show.
sir. Yes, sir.
Vote for
Wise
Christian,
for
man.
the people.
Look, when
We
Christian get in
outside
there,
and we wise
we
for the
outside
people.
for the people.
You know what I'm
Look, when
saying?
Mr. Wise get in there, he gonna be talking like this. You got to start doing this with your hands, like vote for me. This is how they do it. Do they teach that in politics?
My thumbs do that, though. So
Hell
mine,
no. All right, vote for him anyway, but he ain't gonna
Mine a
do
little
that.
different.
Boy, y'all crazy, man. We out, man. We'll see y'all next time.